Peace and love. So I woke up at about 5 o'clock this morning, if not a bit earlier, about four-ish, and I went onto social media quickly, and I saw what had happened in Nigeria regarding the peaceful protest and the firing of guns towards these individuals that were part of the peaceful process. And it is said that the Nigerian government had sent the military troops to actually obviously fire at these innocent protesters. Now obviously that is some negative dark energy, and it is also said that it was the 20th of October 2020, and that's 2020. And what we have to realize is that throughout this year we've been experiencing a lot of darkness, especially when it comes to kind of the media and really the people that rule, or the people that are in charge of our current experience here on earth. And there's been a lot of darkness brought forward, and the light has been exposing a lot of darkness. And again, this is another event, this is more darkness it's to help with the awakening. Although this is obviously something negative and people have been injured, more people will open their eyes because of this incident. More people will question not only the Nigerian government but their own personal government. So we always have to try and look at the other side of the spectrum of why things are happening and why we have to experience such tragic incidents. So I'm being called to pull a Angels and Ancestors Oracle card, see what energy comes out of it. And before we continue, we're just going to read the box. Guardian of the four corners, Mother in the earth, Father in the sky, angels, ancestors, sacred ones, I call on you and welcome you here now. I set the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from this tool will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places. So, what we will be doing in this video is we'll be pulling guidance or any messages to do with this event, and really we will just be seeing where energy takes us and seeing what guidance comes forward. If you could just extend your love, extend your peace to those experiencing darkness in Nigeria and all around the world. So we're just going to take one card to begin with. So we have Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. And at the bottom of the deck we have Connect with your emotions, Water Guardian. Well, yes. If you look at this individual, he's got his hand on his heart, connecting with his heart center, connecting with his heart space. And this card is telling us to connect to our emotions. There's something to do with the less fortunate people. And I don't really know much about Nigeria, and I don't know whether it's a a place full of poverty or whether it's actually quite wealthy or not. After this video, I will have a look at that. However, what I'm feeling is the message that's coming forward is look at people that are less fortunate, and look at how they handle tragedies and handle darkness and handle sadness. And for some reason, it's kind of bringing up like a grace to these people, and I'm just gonna say Nigeria because that's what we're pulling guidance for. And it's basically saying that people of Nigeria, there's a grace to these people. Although bad things are happening, although bad things have happened to them, they have so much grace. And that's because they can connect to their heart center. It's almost like we need to be more like these people. It's almost like there's an element of them that hasn't forgot nature. Okay, and what I'm getting is that places like Nigeria and other places in Africa, and for some reason I'm getting the Congo, it's that for some reason it's what's coming forward. I'm just going to say what's coming forward. It's that these people and these places are in so much poverty because of their divinity, because they still actually have their innate natural connection to source, to, I want to say, the creator, to the Godhead, to nature. And because they still have that kind of link and connection, that's the reason why they experience so much darkness. That's the reason why the powers that be have kind of tried to take everything away from them, but what they can't take away from them is what lies in their hearts. Yes, you can take like gold and minerals from Africa, but you can't take the life force out of their hearts. I'm getting like a symbol, and that the shooting of the innocent people is symbolic for something. It symbolizes something. And for some reason, I'm seeing like Jesus on the cross being sacrificed. It's almost like whoever was injured, whoever may have lost their life, it's almost that there was a collective sacrifice. Or not a sacrifice, sorry, but more so, it's almost like when they came to Earth, before they came to Earth and before they incarnated, it's almost like they had already agreed that this would be the way it is, or this is their end, and because it's for the greater good, and it's because, again, like we already said, this is going to enable many more people to wake up, and many more people to begin to question and begin to go on their journey of spirituality and self-discovery. So again, we have what we have coming out of the deck. The Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. Okay. For some reason, I'm feeling as if there's going to be a huge outbreak of some kind, and it just feels like, I want to say passion, but it's more so about connecting to, again, our emotions and how we feel about what has happened to these innocent people, what has happened to people that are just fighting for peace and are fighting for justice, but in a peaceful way. And again, this came out the other day when, I can't remember which video it is, but I said that there's a need to express our discomforts of the matrix, and that's what's coming again with this, connecting to our heart center, connecting to our emotions, connecting to what's happened with this event. We need to address it, and people need to kind of speak up about it. Because what I'm getting is that things that are blatantly wrong are still happening. And they're still happening because we're not making people accountable. And yes, there's one or two people accountable, but it's kind of everybody that needs to be accountable. It's the whole collective. Every single person on planet Earth needs to be accountable, because the fact that these things are happening is because we all not we may not have told them to go and do this, but there's a level of we can do this because we've allowed them to. We've allowed them to have so much power, so much control, where they can say, go and attack these innocent people. The military followed orders to go and harm innocent people when it's their duty to protect these same people. And a lot of them, I know that a lot, I don't know them personally, but I just feel in my heart that a lot of these individuals that were sent to go do it, for some reason the message is changing just as I was about to give it out. It's almost like they're saying, Naphtali, don't allow, because I'm connected with my emotion right now, and they're saying don't allow that part to cloud like everything else. Yes, there are, because what I was going to say is that in my heart I just feel that when they signed up to be in the military, they signed up to protect and serve their people, not to harm them. None of them expected the day where they would be called to harm innocent people. But then it came to me that that's true for those that are part of the military, but when certain things are happening, things are not always as it seems, and it's almost like it's almost like they're fake. There are fake military as well, that it is their purpose to just kind of follow orders. And when I'm saying to follow orders, it's more so to say, like before, a lot of people that are in the military genuinely are there to serve their people. And when it's saying the ones that are there to follow orders, it's almost like they've just been put there to just do as they're told. They've just been put there to kind of commit these acts against their own people. And I'm getting like they're mindless. Like, it's almost like they're controlled. It's not like they have personal free will. There's just an element of them being kind of mindless. For some reason, I'm getting that this event is going to be successful when it's talking about them and those individuals losing their lives or being injured. It's not gonna be in vain. It's not gonna be for nothing. And I know that no outcome can justify like people losing a life or being harmed by people that are there to protect them, but I always say this, like, some people think it might be a bit heartless, but when it comes to like inheritance or just, inheritance or life insurance, when like a loved one's died, I always say to myself, well, I'd rather them die and I get something, and I know that sounds very selfish, than them die and it not be for nothing, but to also for them to die and for you to be depressed and also struggling with your bills or struggling with trying to sort out giving them a good send off. To me, it's kind of pointless. I'd rather you cross over and leave me something behind, and I'd rather do that for my loved ones. If I was to cross over, I'd rather cross over knowing that I've left them something, knowing that they're not going to struggle or worry, rather than leaving and them suffering and still having nothing. And that's kind of what's coming with this. It's like, whilst it's still sad, whilst it's still hard, whilst it's still a lot of darkness, it's better that it's for something than for nothing. Okay. So, let's pull a Moonology Oracle card. See if we have anything to do with more so the energy of this event. I'm getting trials and tribulations, and I just feel like this is not the first time that we're going to see kind of the government or the military go against their people. I just feel like this is the first time that this is the first, and there's more to come of other countries and other places. And it's like I'm getting the message to say, don't just have this be an isolated Nigeria government issue. This is a world issue, because innocent people are all around the world, and people are fighting for justice all around the world. So if one force, because basically what this showed me is that the leaders of the world, no matter the country, they're all kind of connected, they're all together. It's like they're all for the same cause. And when it comes to that happening in Nigeria, it's just foreshadowing for what can be for the whole world, because we're all connected. And although we all have different laws and we all have different this and different that, we're all just people following guidelines across the whole world. We're all just the same. We have so much separation, and even like when it comes to, I don't know why this is coming up, but even when it comes to like, I don't know if it's North Korea or South Korea, but just the high amount of control that they have over their people. They control what they watch, and there's only select amount of channels on TV. But that's the same for us. We think we have so much freedom, but what is on TV is what's been allowed to be on TV. It's a selection of programs that we can choose to watch, the same as those in other places that we think have less freedom. It's all just an illusion. It's all just part of the matrix. And we have to come out of that illusion. We have to come out of the separation and start coming into the collectiveness, the unity consciousness, the universal love. Okay. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. You're very close to achieving your goal. Gibbous moon. So again, I'm getting the message of this was part of the plan when it comes to not necessarily. Well, yeah. I just feel like this was a bit basically part of the plan. Innocent lives being affected. I'm getting it was always going to be a part of the plan, because we're not in alignment. So if we're not in alignment, it's just that when the collective is not in alignment, everything becomes affected. It's like, say the whole collective was in alignment and one or two people, or obviously maybe let's say 1,000 or a couple thousand people compared to the amount of people on Earth was out of alignment, but the rest were in alignment, then that wouldn't kind of have an effect on the plants or an effect on innocent people. But I'm seeing that because there's a high amount of beings not being in alignment, that's why we have things such as, like, they bring Australia wildfires and just people losing their lives, innocent people losing their lives. It just, like, when there's such a huge amount of things coming out of alignment, everything kind of comes out of alignment. It's like the message that came the other day regarding, like, Earth's ascension and Earth's consciousness is kind of determined by the beings on Earth, not just human beings but animals as well. It's determined by our level of consciousness, and that's the same. Yes, and it's determined by our level of consciousness, and it's the same for the literally, it's all just left my head. But I'm hoping that what I just said, you can find the connection. But when it comes to these cards, your dreams have a practical plan. I am getting that this was part of the plan for innocent people to not be affected, but to lose life. Because they're gonna have to, because it's when we see the innocent people be affected, innocent people be harmed, that we realize that there is injustice in this world, that there is darkness in this world, that it's not just bad people that get punished or people that do things that we have decided are wrong. It's not just those that become affected when we come out of alignment. It's everybody and everything, and that's why these things are happening, to show us the possibility of the ways that we can live not being in alignment, and ways of being where we can be, the ways of being when we are in alignment, and we're very close to achieving this goal. And I'm seeing the goal as being unity consciousness, oneness, wholeness, the age of love, the age of light. I don't know, but I'm getting like 40 years. Almost like Earth will be unrecognizable as being the way we lived. And I'm seeing like Egypt. And it's almost like if a person from the time of Egypt was actually here now, say like this, let's just say like they time traveled here now, it's almost, again, the world now is unrecognizable to the way it was at the time of the Egyptians. Obviously there's still pyramids and stuff, but it also has a lot to do with the atmosphere as well of Earth and the frequency of Earth, because it's like everything has a unique energy signature, and that time of life on Earth of the Egyptian times has a unique energy signature, and this time, and that is one of love, and it's almost like you can feel the that essence when you go to Egypt. I've not been there, so I don't actually know, but I'm getting that you can feel that essence of connectedness. Whereas what they're saying in this time is that you can't feel that connectedness unless you've been on a spiritual journey. But when it comes to just the everyday person walking out, it is just this sense of being alone, of being a single individual. But if you was to be back in those times, there's a sense of being part of something larger, if that makes sense. There was never a time when you walked and felt alone, is what's coming. I don't know if you come off topic when it comes to Nigeria and the innocent people, but we just go with energy and we go with the flow of what's coming through. So let's pull one more card, going straight back to Nigeria. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Adjustments are required when it comes to the leaders of Nigeria. Not just that, adjustments are required in the people of Nigeria to make a stand. I'm getting that they are so loving, they are such loving people, and even in times like this, it's almost like I just feel it. And again, the news media, what's on social media may differ, but what I'm getting from energy is that even when there is this darkness, this tragedy, that they still don't want to fight physically. They still want to continue peacefully fighting for their life, fighting for their rights, fighting for justice. But I'm getting it's almost like allow some of that fire to brew. You don't have to be destructive and go out and, just start rioting or hurting other people in retaliation, and still have love in your heart, because that is what makes you you. That is what makes you divine. However, allow it's almost like allow yourself to express that inner turmoil that is being projected onto you. Okay, so let's pull some cards from the Crystal Therapy deck. And we'll see what cards we have coming out for the events of Nigeria, the people of Nigeria, what crystals could maybe help assist those experiencing darkness at this time. So we have a puff of light, and that's guidance. And what flipped over in the deck was to ground. Okay. I can't say the name of this crystal, but it's integrate. And then what I'm getting is again to integrate that kind of fire, integrate that passion, that, I don't know, it's like allow yourself to express what's within you and the pain that's inside you as well. There is a need to also ground, because obviously I am seeing that with social media, maybe in the next few days, there's going to be a lot more like publicity or a lot more being pushed out when it comes to Nigeria. And those of you that are Nigerian or living in Nigeria or just feel extremely connected, there's this element of kind of emotions can become heightened, and when things are being pushed around, certain emotions can be pushed onto you as well, such as anger, irritation, frustration. So I'm getting you still need to ground with those emotions, ground with all the emotions that are coming in, especially with these cards, remember, connect to your emotions and this individual holding his heart. It's that you need to, don't allow the media to take you out of alignment or take you out. Oh, there's just this push. You have to be careful when it comes to the media and the passing around of posts, and also the passing around of feelings and emotions, because when they are pumping things out on the media, anger is often a emotion that we tend to absorb, especially when it comes to, I want to say, black people, and because a lot of the injustice that we face is a lot of anger towards us for nothing, and a lot of prosecution towards us for nothing. So we then absorb the anger and internalize the anger. But we need to remember, integrate the love that we have in our hearts with our understanding, with a higher perspective, and also with maybe the lower emotions that are coming into our experience from social media. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it there. I feel like there's one more message coming through, because it's like that my guides are telling me that I'm not done, but I can be done if I want to. They're basically saying I can leave it there, but if there is more than, but there is, like, if I was to continue, there would be more to come. So we're just going to pull one single card from the Nature's Whispers Oracle deck. So there's definitely more to say. guides are telling me to, we already have one. Empowerment. And I'm getting, how can you use this? It's a question that's coming. How can you use this situation to empower yourself, to empower the planet, to empower the collective? It's almost like we can choose to look at these situations from either side, from this shadow side or this light side, or both. And really that is the answer. To integrate. To integrate. But I am definitely going to leave it here now. I just want to ask that you again send your love to Nigeria, to the people of Nigeria, to the people on planet Earth that are experiencing darkness in any place. I thank you for being with me. I thank you for being present with me. I hope these messages are received with the highest understanding and overstanding. Peace and love. Ashe.